All right, guys, last on the list we have Shelby versus Salisbury. And the name of this game is who is going to stop Jahari Mitchell. This kid scored all 6 touchdowns for this team. And I mean, he couldn't be stopped. They couldn't stop him no matter what they did. He just ran and ran and ran on these guys. So who's going to stop him?
It's glad to see a line doing good.
Yeah. This one's gonna be a tough game. I still laugh at this. Congrats to Salisbury, the winners of the East, as we continue to joke about that. But I mean, Shelby has so many athletes in this game. I mean, you look like we always talk about best. I mean, Mitchell, of course. I mean, they've got, countless athletes. Hollyfield on the other side. I mean, can Salisbury come out early and make this a game? I was shocked at the Burn score. I know, sure you were there on the scene. It was a 10-point game last game, the first one or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to see them just completely break it out, and I don't know, Matt, did you see how many yards the running back had in that game? Because I know before that was the key for Burns, stopping that guy.
Well, Burns did not put any stats in.
That sounds like he didn't do well.
So we'll trust Shiree in what she said.
Shiree, like you said it didn't do a lot there in that game. So, but that's the key.
Don't put your stats out, baby. You call me. Tell them to call me.
What does that matter? Like everybody gets filmed. That's a part of this.
Well, you can count it. You can count it.
I think a lot of it though for that game was that Burns they had a lot of penalties, and on top of that, the defense was just too much for him. So I think when you put those two together, they couldn't do anything, and it was like every time they got a little bit going, they had a pick that they threw, and it was just like you just couldn't stop it. And Mitchell, shout out to you, Jahari Mitchell. If I played like you, I would play every down.
So the interesting thing is, I'm looking at this. He had 5 rushing touchdowns.
5 rushing.
Okay.
5 rushing. One reception.
Yeah. Wow.
That's it.
Hoodie Mellow.
But that shows their versatility, man. And we talked about that before with them, with their pass game and running and just how balanced they could be. You see that with just throwing a receiver in the backfield and taking care of business. So it's gonna be a problem. Salisbury, kudos to them for getting here and traveling the long road of the East.
Oh yeah, over
my
2,000 miles.
Does that make them a one-dimensional team? Like if you stop Jahari Mitchell, then what else does that team have? Because I didn't see much else outside of him. Like he was there.
We know Shelby's quarterback is really good.
Yeah.
Isaiah Best is
okay.
I know that another receiver. Yeah, not another receiver over 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
And I know another back that is hurt.
Daly's the other receiver. Yeah. And then the running backs. I tell you, Danye Fuller. I reviewed his film in the offseason. Did an article on him. He is super talented. So they got multiple weapons.
They probably was like, you know what?
Was it just Mitchell's night? Maybe it was just Mitchell's night. Okay.
Well, and that's part of it too. We talked about that. We talked about that in prior conversations here. I remember. What do you do when you play a team twice? That was a situation where in the first game it was tight, and you didn't maybe they keyed on something as we didn't break down the film crazy, but maybe they keyed on something different. So to throw them off, you got another guy that that can come out here and do something and really stop him. Because I remember we looked at the box score from the first game, and I don't think Mitchell had that. I think he maybe had like a 100-yard game or something. Yeah. I can't remember specifically, but I know he didn't have that kind of game. So that that could be something that they did to throw them off. Especially when you have so much talent. It's crazy to see that level where you can throw a guy in and say, "I'll go score 5 touchdowns."
So, as a DC, when you play a team for the second time, it's harder to defend because they know your tendencies, and you gotta put some new kinks in there and have maybe 1 or 2 new checks.
Yeah.
But I would have been mad as I don't know what. I'm like, who is this kid?
Well, when I talked to one of the moms, and she was like, "Yeah, this is David versus Goliath," and I was like, "We about to have a good game," and it just didn't turn out that way.
I was mom, but I was been sitting there sipping my tea. Well,
she was on the winning team. I was over on Shelby's side, so she was definitely.
She was good. She was saying, "I'm Goliath."
I'm Goliath. You're David. But that's the thing. Being on the losing, being on a team that lost the first matchup, I gotta feel like as a DC, sometimes you're playing whack-a-mole. You're trying to stop this over here. You're trying to make sure Best doesn't throw it.
Yeah.
And you're stopping. You're making sure you put the clamps on this guy. So instead of doubling him, now they put him in the backfield, and you're like, what do I do?
I already could tell. Probably he was like, got the whole week you sitting there We on him. We on him. All we gotta do is stop this guy. We gotta stop the best.
For sure, yeah.
And that running back. Next thing you know, it's halftime. He was like,
No, because I followed the score closely there, and it was separation the entire way.
Yeah.
I never saw.
Nah, you just gotta take your hat off and you be like, good grace in it. Like I would have shook the offensive coordinator and said, hey, great job.
So Salisbury, throughout the playoffs, first of all, they traveled a long way. They've only given up 12 points to Washington, 7 to Hertford County, and 7 to Randleman. So good defense.
I don't think they've seen anything like the Golden Lions. I think that part
I agree. You know, Randleman, I haven't followed Randleman since back in the day. But Randleman used to be known to be a hard-nosed, tough team with they had defense and stuff like that. Salisbury had the same characteristics. So I'm not shocked at that, but Shelby's a different monster, man. That kid, I said it when we was at the Richmond County Advance game. It's different when you have a true D1 talent player, especially in that middle of the field.
Yeah.
And he is legit. Everybody say he's not as good, but he's probably on the same level as his brother, and that's saying a lot. He's a freak.
And I mean, you don't talk about it as much, but the difference in travel's got to make a difference.
Yeah.
Sitting on a bus, even like I said, I talked about, us in the state championship, and we were a road warrior similar. I think we had like an 11 seed, kind of like what Vance had to deal with. But for us, all of our games were, off the road, minimum 2-3 hour drives. Yeah. And I felt like when we got to that last game at Keenan Stadium, we had nothing left. Yeah. I don't know if I can, if I feel specifically like I can point to and say, oh yeah, this guy was out of gas, or I was here, I was there. But you play a game, and we went out to West Brunswick, and we had a 5-hour drive back, not getting back till 1, 2 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So not that it was as much of the game being difficult, but you're adding travel time, back and forth, and the NCHSAA is not going to give you an extra night, or, do that. So you're talking about 10 hours of travel, or talking about to go out to Washington or Hertford County or all those places. You're talking 3 and 4 hour times 2, travel days. So that doesn't play into your into your hands either. So they've got a lot against them, and we always talk about West versus East. Goodness here,
I would not to cut you off. I think the only problem that exists is the 4AA and 4A, because you look at 3A and everything below. You got some teams that should be West playing in the East, and some playing in the East supposed to be in the West. And they're traveling that's crazy, and we only got certain teams that's going from point A to point B. Even you look at some of the people's schedule in the season. I remember last year we played Pinecrest regular season, and we didn't get home till almost 2 o'clock in the morning because we got right down there. So I think we got to stop making that the excuse. We don't want these long distance when you got teams in the 3A. Salisbury going all the way out there, that's crazy. Even on the west side of the state, you got some taking some crazy routes because the terrain. Just make it, hey, this is the line. We got north and the south or something, and just say, hey, this is how we're gonna do it. You just gotta stop using that as an excuse because Richmond, even no offense to them, they should have been the state. It should be Richmond versus that was the state championship game. It should have been. And they should have been over there with Wake Forest because they played Wake Forest.
Well, that's something we're going to talk about all season.
Yeah, but it just I just think that's an excuse. You just got all these teams. You look at 3. Cupperson went to the mountains, to the mountains a couple times. Yeah, you got all these the Union County teams going all over the place, except Weddington. That's the benefit. That's what happened when you're a big dog. You got to come see us. And
they went to Watauga last year. That's So and I guess that's the difference for me as a 3A guy. Growing up, I was used to it. So
me too. When I remember West Shore, we went to West Forsyth and we went to AC Reynolds the following week, and we were like, good gracious,
No, it is, and that's the part where it's tough.
So real quick on Salisbury, I think the most comparable team they face is North Davidson. North Davidson 7-6 this year. They beat Salisbury 24-21. So, North Davidson's balanced team. So
Shelby beat North Davidson?
They didn't play North Memphis.
Oh, I was about to say, oh,
Well, they would have beat him if they
no offense. To
So just trying to find,
No, of course. Yeah. No, I mean, I think, like I said, the bigger thing, you're in a situation like this with Salisbury, you got to start fast. You got to, you got to keep up the energy and intensity. Yeah, I mean, that's, what you're going to get out of these guys. I think early on, with a team like Shelby, they're going to take a shot with one of their big guys. Can you handle it? And I think, my head coach always says a lot of times, survive the surge. I mean, the better teams will come out with the energy. They're going to come out looking to humble you early. Right. If you can survive that, you have a shot.
Yeah.
All right.
Respect to them.
Good stuff. Good luck. This game is at 11 a.m. Wake Forest University, and the lovely Shiree there in the middle will be there.
Go Deeks.
With a breakfast biscuit in her hand.